Folks, we're back. This is Steve Sanson, Frank, friends with veterans in politics. Today, our guest is going to be Bob Olson, candidate for Nevada's Assembly District number 17. But before we get to Mr. Olson, Frank, you have any rants?
Oh, a little bit. So, Steve, as you know, you helped me through a tremendous battle against the Goliath, the family court here in Nevada. Mm-hmm. For years, you helped me with that. Well, now it's time for another battle. I'm officially announcing my candidacy for District C as a school board trustee. I'm going for the Board of Education now. So that's what's next.
You filed already?
Already filed, baby. It's official.
I know. I saw it last night when I looked on the website.
You like to stay current on your politics, huh?
Somebody's got to.
But yeah, that's about it for me,
Congrats.
Steve. Thank you, brother. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
I mean, seriously, we need to have some changes on that school board.
That's going to be the game plan.
Yep.
Well, it's all females right now.
Yeah.
That's all right.
They have two that were appointed. Ibarra, who's was a teacher in Rancho. He's on there temporarily. And then there's another lady that just got appointed. They don't have any power in voting or anything, but I guess they're running.
Yeah. And no superintendent or an intern.
You got an interim right now. Dr. Mitchell, I think her name is. So far, I haven't found anything bad on her. So we'll see how deep I can dig.
When I went to when they were looking for a superintendent, I said they shouldn't go with Jesus Jara.
I didn't like Jara either. You remember?
No, that was from the very beginning. Before he rose his right hand, I was saying you shouldn't go with Jesus. But they did anyway. And the guy haven't lived here. I mean, he's lived here, but his family's lived in Florida with his kids. So he's not really living here, is he?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be crazy.
Anyways, let's talk about the assembly. We got Bob Olson here. How you doing, Mr.
Doing
Olson?
good.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I've been here in Las Vegas since 2008. I moved here. And
From where?
I was down actually at Travel Tech, and I was working down in Kingman.
Ah, Arizona.
Yeah, Arizona. I worked at the hospital there and then got a job offer to come up here. And then the economy fell apart. You could look at the newspaper one day, there'd be 30 ads for ultrasound tech. When I got ready to move up here, they disappeared. There was none left. The economy just so I went to work in security. Did that for about 1.5 to 2 years. And then went back to traveling and spent some time on the Indian reservation.
And what tribe?
The Agala, for the Native Americans up there on Pine Ridge.
Okay.
And I was very fortunate. I got to know a lot of them and their history and what the United States has done to them. And it's a different. I was there when they changed the sign the U.S. government had put up was the Battle of Wounded Knee. They put up the Massacre Wounded Knee, so they changed the sign. Got to know them real well. Love being around them. It was interesting. But when you look at it, the history they've got up there, and Sitting Bull was over on another reservation. His grandson worked at the hospital I was at. In fact, we were downstairs getting the badges and everything we have to have. And I was sitting in his office, and above me was a huge picture. And I said, "When did you get the ghost dancers here?" He says, "We can't display it upstairs." I said, "Why?" Federal government won't let us do it. Mm-hmm. So they have this beautiful painting done by a Native American that they can't display because it's the ghost dancers. And that's what started the wars against the Native Americans up there in the plains. And of course, they celebrate Custer's Day that they beat him at Bighorn, Little Bighorn. That's a grand celebration. You go there and they have a great time.
How long ago was that?
Well, let's see. Probably about 9 years, I think it was the last time I was on the reservation.
No, the custard.
That was back in the 1870s. Actually, that's the funny part. It was in the 1870s. He marched from Fort Abraham Lincoln, which is in Mandan, North Dakota, and he marched there. He was supposed to wait for Sheridan and Meade to get together, and they were going to attack. But he was always a glory hound, and that was one of the things. Even at Gettysburg, he was a glory hound there. He went against Jeb Stuart's cavalry there and actually turned the Battle of Gettysburg in the Union favor. If he hadn't been there, there's a good possibility the South would have won Gettysburg. Mm-hmm. And so when that goes out there, but the unique thing is that you have to know your history. You have to understand it. So even coming here to Las Vegas, I've learned the history of Nevada and some of the things that have gone on here. And you know about the mob and everything, you know, the history and Oscar Goodman being the mayor and the lawyer for them and Binions. And so, you know, Las Vegas.
Well, that legacy is going to end in June.
Yeah, which will be nice. We'll need a new mayor. And hopefully we'll get some things done.
Well, why you say that? They've been doing a good job.
Well, you know, there are times when you look at the mayor and you go, maybe you've been there too long. Some of the things that you make, statements you make, and some of the ideas. And even when we had COVID, you know, you look at everything that was done. Sisolak, you know, was catching hell from everybody, you know, about keeping the strip closed. And she gets up and makes a statement, then does something to embarrass herself on national TV, you know. So you have to look at, but you have to look at who the person is, and are they there for their own interest, or are they there for the people that they serve?
And what do you think?
Well, at times I kind of wondered. I really did. But even when, for me, when coming here to Las Vegas, I've watched our politicians, and congratulations on you going up for school board. That's what really pissed me off, was the school board.
Yep, that's where I'm at.
And I said to her, I said, look, you know, I've had enough of this crap. And my wife was sitting there looking at me going, what's the matter? I said, I'm going to run for school board. So I go to the meeting, and they tell me, your candidate's not up for re-election, so you can't run for school board. I go, oh, shit. That was exactly what I said.
This is how you end up in the assembly race?
Yeah. I got asked, would you mind running up in District 17? I said, sure.
Who asked you?
Actually, there was Patricia Brinkley and Garland were the two that really talked me into it. So I went and got some advice, because I have a very good friend that works at the VA. She's the president of AFGE, the American Federation of Government Employees, the largest union in the federal government. She's the president here, and I worked as chief steward. So Linda and I know each other real well. So I went and asked her, I said, Linda, I'm going to run for school board. She goes, oh. I said, what do you think? She says, well, it could be more influence if you ran for the assembly. And I went, okay, tell me why. And she proceeded to tell me, and I listened to her.
to know why. Why is that?
Because you have a better effect as far as what you're going to do. You're not only going to affect the people that you're representing in North Las Vegas under my district that I went up there, but you're also going to affect people in the state. So now, along with that, she made me realize that I'm not just worried about people in North Las Vegas. When I go to the assembly and introduce law, bring things in, and say, yeah, I want to see this done. No, I don't want to see this. I'm not just affecting that district. It affects the whole state. So now it's wow, I never thought of that.
But you know, the school board is immediate, though.
Yeah, to a point. To a point.
And the school board is kind of easier to deal, because you got how many bodies on there? 7? Something like that?
9, I think, right now.
9?
Yeah.
The 9?
Yeah.
9.
Yeah, there's 9 sitting there.
And the assembly has 42.
So?
Right? And then you gotta get majority vote. You gotta get majority
Steve,
vote.
the spot he could have ran for wasn't up.
Hold on. You gotta get majority vote.
Right.
And if you're populated, I'm assuming you're a Republican.
Yes.
So if you're populated by Democrats, your bill is not even going anywhere. And if they don't like you, your bill is not even going to get out of committee, much more get on the floor. And let's say it does get on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have to go through to the Senate. How many on the Senate?
26?
Yeah, you got to get past the Senate, and then you got to get past the governor. And then the governor might just veto it or just whatever.
Steve, he could veto the governor.
But with the school board, it's immediate. It's immediate.
Not necessarily.
It's immediate.
Really?
It's immediate. It is.
Well, you tell me the changes you've seen in that school board in the last year, other than firing Jara, then hiring him back, and now they fired him again.
Well, that's their issue. But I'm saying, but if they were on the right course, it's immediate. Where the assembly takes a little bit of time, and then after the bill is signed into law, let's say it does, then it happens. The law doesn't take effect until maybe the following year or 6 months down the line. Mm-hmm. But with the school board, it's like the following week.
Well, if the position was open, I'd be running for the school board, but it wasn't. So I took the next best advice from a very good friend, says, run for the assembly. You can be more effective there. Well, and that brought me into
Who's in your race?
Mershon Montgomery is the only one that's filed. She's the Democrat.
Is she the incumbent?
Wasn't there another one?
No, Claire Thomas is the incumbent, and she's running for Senate District 1.
So what is it heavily populated in?
I'm outnumbered 2-1 by Democrats.
It's a Democrat.
It's a Democrat.
Steve, all of Vegas is,
It's
man.
got. You gotta look at it. Steve. Here's the thing.
All of
You know
Vegas
what?
is,
I try to look at this strategically. If it's outnumbered 2-1, what are your chances?
I'm going to win it.
You
There we
think
go.
so?
Yeah.
Huh?
And the reason I say that is because
It's like the Libertarians running for a seat, which they know they're not going to win. And the IAP runner, a Libertarian never ran or became an assembly. How many Libertarians are in the legislature? None.
none.
How many Libertarians are in Congress or on the federal seats?
You only got one that I know of.
None.
No, there's one.
In this state?
No, not in this
I'm
state.
talking about this state. How many Libertarians are in the school board? None. How many Libertarians are in any elected position in the state of Nevada? None. So I asked them, why you guys keep running if you know you're going to lose?
Because they
That's
don't.
the fight up, Steve.
You don't sit. You may not agree with the Democratic Party. Okay, so you don't agree with the Democrats. You don't agree with the Republicans. So what other choice do you have? Okay, there's a movement going on right now, and people may not be aware of it, but they may be. There's a new movement going on called the Forward Party. Okay, is it gaining? They are sitting here in Nevada. They're not worried about 2024. They're looking at 2026. And the reason for that is they've got to get their base set up, their foundation. And that's all they're working on right now. You will see the Forward Party come out. And
Is
they
there
will.
anything like the Mises Caucus?
No, they want to have, and how you can tell that they're there, they want a stacked candidate rating. So if you take the first one, then you get the second one,
Ranked choice voting.
Yeah, that's what they're basically doing.
That's a Mises Caucus thing.
Well, it's not called that. They call it ranked choice voting. And that's all they're doing.
Yeah.
All right, those are the people putting there. You won't hear that name, and they don't even use that.
So, Mr. Olson.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are we done with your bio, by the way?
Oh, well, I did 20 some years in the military, Air Force.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I come from a long family of military. We were talking earlier. I can trace it all the way back to the 1800s. Mm-hmm. I've got pictures of my family back there.
I'm taking a different course this year because I'm telling people put their money where their mouth is because I'm tired of people just yapping away on the lips and not have any kind of consequences if it goes one way or the other. I'll bet you $500 right now. You said you're going to win your race? I bet you $500 right now. You win your race, I'll give you $500. You lose your race, you give me $500.
Oh, you're shaking.
He's allowed to set that bet.
No. He could set the bet.
I don't think so.
Yeah, he could.
Nope.
Nope.
And I'm going to tell you why.
Why?
Okay.
Come on.
No,
Let's shake on it.
No.
Be considered a campaign contribution.
Let's shake on it.
No, I will
Steve,
not.
you can't.
Because
You can't,
I am just tired
Steve,
of
I
people.
couldn't shake on it.
You said you're out. Hold on. You said you're outnumbered. We're doing the math. You said you're outnumbered 2-1
Yeah.
Democrats. So with that odds, you're like saying, how could,
Steve.
hold on, Frank. With that odds, you're like saying, how could you win? But you were so bold. I'm going to win. So
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
And
I
I'm gonna
bet
tell you why.
$500
No,
right now.
I don't need to bet money because I'm going to tell you this. First of all,
I'll bet you some services then. How about that? How about that? Because I'll work you like a dog. I'll bet you some
let
services.
me tell you this.
How about we bet some services?
No, I'm not going to make a bet on this.
You're not going to make a bet at all. So you're not really confident about winning.
No, I am.
Well, then bet.
No.
He can't. That's what I'm telling you.
Yes, he can.
By
No,
law,
I
he
cannot.
can't.
Yes, he can.
Steve, by law, he
Yeah,
can't.
he can. He can.
No, I can't do
I've
that.
done this in several elections already. Ask Jim.
Okay, let me explain this to you, Steve, so you understand where I'm coming from. When I got into this race, okay, I had Republicans from the Clark County Republican Party.
In 2008, I made $1,500.
Okay, that's good. I'm glad you did. And I know what you were doing. I got other ways to do my money. I go on the golf course.
Ain't that right, Joe Heck?
Now, I was told by the Clark County Republican Party that we're not going to waste any resources up there because you can't win. All right? I have a friend that does the national analysis for AFGE. And when I called Ryan said, Bob, you're going to lose. You're already 20 points behind. I said, it's an open seat. He says, well, now you're 10 points behind. Okay, I understand that. But here's the thing. When you tell me I can't win, I'm going to go out and prove you wrong. Okay? When I do win, people are going to say, hey, I helped you. No.
You win, I give you $500.
No, I'm not going to take your money. It's not about the money. It's about proving the point that you have to have confidence, know what you're going into, okay, and that you're going to win. Okay? Me, personally, I got a message that I can deliver that will bring Democrats over, bring the independents to my side, and the Republicans. Now, can I win that? Yeah, I can win. I've already proven that sitting down in a meeting with the Democrat representative from Assembly District 20. We did not talk about Democrat, Republican right off the bat. He says, so what are you doing? I said, well, I'm getting ready to run for office. Oh, what are you going to run for? Assembly District 17. And he says, well, what are you talking about? And we talked for a few minutes. He says, are you a Republican? I said, yeah, I'm a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. He says, I can't wait to get you up in the Assembly because I can work with you. Now, if I can do that to a Democrat, you don't think I can talk people into voting for me?
Well, answer me this, Mr. Olson. When was the last time a Republican won District 17?
Well, I know the last two times that they've run against Claire Thomas, they've been beat by double digits.
When was the last time?
I couldn't tell you. I really couldn't.
It hasn't happened.
And does that mean I'm going to lose? You might think
According to the math, yeah.
I don't care about the math. It's what you do as a person. If you're going to get out there, knock on doors, talk to people, and give them answers and give them solutions to the problems we're facing, then you're going to turn those people into voting for you. During the caucus that we have.
Well, if you're that confident, let's just bet something on this thing.
Steve, forget the bet thing. I want to hear why he's confident.
I need some services done.
Steve, I want to hear why he's confident. What policies do you have set up ready to roll that are going to get independents and Democrats on the same page? Because I'm more independent than Republican.
Okay,
so
first
I'd like to hear these policies.
You've got a problem with the education. That's going to be.
We know that.
Okay, so that's going to be the very first issue you have to address. Okay, I believe that we need to go back to the school that I grew up in, that worked, proven successful, going back to a reading, writing, and arithmetic. Okay, take a basic course and bring it out. Get all this other superfluous garbage that we got sitting in schools and get rid of the stuff. Okay, now we get back to that. Kids learn how to write cursively, read cursively. Because if you can't read it, you don't know what's in the Constitution. You don't know what's in the Bill of Rights.
Well, that's the reason why they do that.
Okay, but they don't now. Not in this school district.
No, that's why they took it out.
But you
can't read those things.
Yeah, but there are schools right now that are teaching that, going back, and the teachers are doing it on their own. So why not do it here? Also, at the 9th grade level, you are going to take a civics class. That's going to be mandatory statewide to learn about your government. Not only at the local level, but all the way to the national level, and understand why you're an American, why you have the right to vote, what you're entitled to do, run for office, the whole political system. We get back to that. That'll help. Now, also in the education part, we need to give parents the right to choose where they're going to send their kids to school. They have that right.
You're talking about school choice.
Yes, they have that right. I agree with it. Okay. Now, here's the kicker to it. If that kid goes to a charter school, whatever money we're paying for that kid follows that kid.
It'd be about $1,100. No,
it's about $1,172.
Yeah, it's about $1,100 per student.
Yeah,
that they get.
Okay, so that will follow that kid. Now, here's the thing with charter schools, because I asked a couple of the charter schools, they send their kids all the way. Parents send them into the charter school up until the 8th grade. Then they come out in the 9th grade. They come out into the public school. Why? It's the athletics. That's the big thing about them coming out into the public schools is for the athletics. As we sit here and look at this, we've got to have a good school system. If we have a good education system here, that also affects us in how we're going to draw business into Nevada.
So you're basically willing to work with the education board.
I'm going to change it. Yes. I've already got one person that's sitting on the school board that is trying to bring the legislature and the school board together.
That's what needs to happen.
And that lady is, I've talked to her twice. Great lady. Not going to tell you who it is, but when it does happen, you're going to know it. But also, you have to have other members in the assembly that are going to believe and work with you. So you have to form that coalition and work that and get that through. Yeah. Do we have those people? Yes, we do.
Okay, what other policies outside of education?
Okay, now, here's the other one. Las Vegas is becoming the sports mecca, right?
Yep.
Okay. So why are we jamming everything into land that we don't have be able to build everything down there we need?
Greed.
Okay.
Greed and contracts.
Why are we taking the Tropicana down and building a baseball stadium there?
Well, no.
That to me, that's the dumbest idea. And then have the taxpayers pay for it. No. You want to build a stadium downtown? You pay for the money. You've got the money.
So basically, clubhouse money builds the club.
Yeah. The guy's a multimillionaire.
Well,
he can't reach a deal.
Something else you can look into. Do you know what the largest growing sport is in the United States right now?
Depends on who you talk to.
Pickleball.
Nope. Flag football.
Flag football.
Flag football's now,
pushing it.
well, not just that, but now it's an Olympic sport.
Yeah.
You have all those fields out over in Northtown that can be turned into flag football fields. You can run tournaments. Mm-hmm. You can get people ready for the NFL flag football Raiders thing. There's all kinds of things you can do to make money on that.
And that, I've been talking to people up there about that. And we have a gentleman that's over in what we call, it's up off of Maryland Park, Maryland, and you go Owens and H Street. There's a church there. And, but I've been to Shepherd's Breakfast. I made a commitment to him that if he gets elected and I'm elected, we'll work together to revitalize that area over there. How do you do that? You bring in that land up there. Okay, so we're jamming all our sports down here. We got open land sitting up in North Las Vegas. Bring the NBA basketball team up there. Not only bring it up there, but also bring the training camps, the complex that we need up there, revitalize that area and show. We've already got a NASCAR. They've already widened the highway up there. So traffic's not going to be a problem. Where you look at Las Vegas, it is a problem. Look at all the building and stuff we did. Okay? We've already got
the building that they've paused and kind of did. And
yeah.
Did with the Nevada Orange State Flower.
Yeah.
Traffic cone.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we've got, that won't be a problem. So get the land up there, build the Coliseum, whatever you want to call it. Bring the NBA team there. Is there people that will back that? Yeah. I already have talked to 3 or 4 people about that. And they have the contacts.
Well, after you get these developments going, why don't we do something where it's all the homes up there must be 3 to 5 bedroom homes for multifamily homes?
You got to have affordable housing.
It can be affordable.
So what's affordable?
Especially in that area.
What's affordable?
I don't know, $280,000.
When was the last time you saw a house built in North Las Vegas for $280,000 or Las Vegas?
If you're bringing all that money in, you can then talk to realtors. You can talk to property land management companies. Like, hey, you're about to have a stadium right over there.
Right.
This land's going to be worth this.
Yep.
You can build this house and it'll sell that quick. But it has to be 3 to 5 bedrooms, and we got to get families in here first.
Well, that's what we should do. And how do you do that? You have to revitalize. You have to have people cooperate and say, okay, we're going to build the stadium here. We're going to have the training facilities here. Okay. Now, along with that, you go to North Las Vegas and you don't see anything for the kids. Nothing at all. The kid,
Craig Ranch Park.
Excuse me.
That's about it.
What do you see there? It's up.
You see gang banging, shootings, stabbings.
Yep. Okay. So now we got to find something for them. Build a soccer football complex like they have on Washington, where you have the field there. You have a football. You can use it for soccer. Okay. That's one thing. Build it right there. The land's sitting right there. We can do that. But you got to get people that want to do something for the kids. That's where we're going to change society. That's where we're going to give them a chance to be out of the streets. I work with Brandon Marshall, who played for the Broncos. I actually worked with his association that he's doing, and they hold a turkey bowl up there with the cops. These are kids at risk.
Yeah.
And we're supporting that. I'm sitting on a foundation that is dealing with those athletes from junior high, high school to college that they have mental problems that they need to get the help. So we're reaching out to these different organizations to reach these kids because they need the help. Because if you get injured, you're done. I've got one young man that goes to Colorado State. He was going to do a walk-on here at UNLV. Colorado State took him. So he's playing football there. But the struggles he went through, I saw firsthand. And we've got to help those kids because their world comes apart. Then what do you do?
Well, what do you do to get these people on board? Do you incentivize lower taxes? Do you say if you help this area here, we're going to make it to where you don't pay a land tax on a lease for 10 years, but you got to help this many people. You got to hire this many small businesses, this many veteran business. What are your policies? What are you going to do to achieve this?
We got to reduce the regulations for small business, for veterans to be able to get into.
That would be very, very nice. I just went through that process.
Yeah.
It's fucking horrible.
It's terrible.
Mr. Olson, I want to ask you a few questions. Yes, is this your first run?
Yeah.
Okay. How long have you been attending the Republican Central Committee meetings? How long has that been?
Actually, I'm going to be very honest about it.
Honest is good.
Yeah.
I'm not real happy with what I see. Okay. And I'll tell you why.
I didn't ask if you were happy with it.
No. You got to understand. When you are told that we're not going to fund any money to you, we're not going to help you.
How long have you been with the Republican Central Committee?
Ever since I started this thing. That was
how long has that been?
in October.
Since October.
And
About 6 months?
About 6 months.
Okay. So you've been with the party for 6 months. Okay.
Here in Nevada.
Here in Nevada.
Okay.
You run in a race that's 2-1 Democrats and you're Republican.
Right.
The Republican Party said that they're not going to fund any monies for this race.
Okay.
Right? That's what you just said.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How many, and you said you're going to convert Democrats over to Republican. Now, that's going to be difficult in this climate. But anyways, but that one person you talk to is going to vote for you. But how many actual people live in District 17?
Well, when you look at it,
Mm-hmm.
you're looking right now about 15 to 23,000.
23,000.
Okay.
And you said it's 2-1 Democrats to Republicans.
Yeah.
So you're looking at how many
6,000
Democrats? How many Democrats you looking at?
About 12,000.
About 12 to 15,000.
15,000
All right.
Democrats. And the rest is Republican up to 23,000. So have you started knocking on doors yet?
I've knocked on 2,000 doors already.
You've knocked on 2,000 doors
Yep.
already since October.
I got no problem walking out, talking to people in the street.
And how many doors you think you're going to reach by early voting starts, 2 weeks in end of May?
May.
How many doors you think you're going to reach by then?
Depends on how bad I want to be out there.
And how much money have you put into this race?
Out of my pocket? Let's see. 125 for North Las Vegas so I can pay you to have my signs displayed.
Ballpark.
No, we're talking about probably $800.
$800. How much money you think you're going to need to reach 23,000 people?
Well, it's going to come to this, walking and knocking on doors.
Okay. And it's just you and the Republican challenger right now? I mean, the Democratic challenger right now?
Yeah.
So there's just the two of you?
Right now.
So if nobody else jumps in this race, you'll go to November.
Right.
Okay. And you think you're going to be able to cover, let's say nobody jumps in the race. Let's say nobody else jumps in.
Okay.
You think you're going to be able to cover all 23,000 households by then?
Well, let's put it this way. I'm going to wear out an awful lot of shoes.
Okay.
Okay. I got no problem. Listen.
Because I've heard this talk before from
Steve.
Look, Mr. Olson. Mr.
No,
Olson,
just go
with all due respect, I've been doing this since 1998 in this town.
Right.
I've been with the Republican Central Committee around the same time.
Okay.
And I've seen people talk your talk, but not walk your walk. So when I said I wanted to bet, I wanted to see your response. And I got the response that I thought I was going to get before you even give it to me. I knew you were going to say, no, I don't want to do it. I don't want to bet. I knew, or come up with excuses why not to.
No.
I already knew that because that's exactly how a lot of people that are trying to run for public office act. I've been doing this almost 30 years, and I've ran 5 times.
I'll let you finish.
I've ran in 5 different races, and the reason why I don't win is because they told me I'm abrasive or adversarial,
just a little step.
Or don't take anybody's shit. Whatever the language. And I was also told if I was a Democrat, I would have been in public office years ago. So I'm bringing this to your attention because I'm trying to do the math here, and the math is not adding up.
Okay.
You feeling me?
Yeah, I do.
Hold
okay.
on, Bob. Let me tell him. I just want to tell him something.
No. We'll interview you later when I get Jim.
I want to tell you something.
When I get Jim sitting right there.
Hey, I want to tell you something about this, though, Steve.
Tell me.
There's a dude in New Jersey that ran against all Democrats. He's a Republican. He's a fucking truck driver. He spent $800 on his campaign buying donuts. And he won.
No, he did not spend $800.
But what did you say? What state was this?
What was
New Jersey.
Jersey.
Okay.
This is Nevada.
And he beat Democrats.
Let me tell you this, because you brought it up.
He beat Democrats, Steve.
You want to know something, and this is me.
Jersey.
Okay.
I don't care.
No.
Beat the Democrats.
Jersey.
It's doable.
Okay.
Jersey.
Let me explain
Not
something
in
to
this
you.
town.
Let me explain something to you. When you get into this race, you stand there and you think, okay, I'm going to win. Okay. Then you have your Republican Party tell you can't. Okay. Not only that, Jesse Law, I've got the lieutenant governor tell me I can't win. I haven't met Lombardo. I wouldn't even talk to him because he won't talk to me. My hero is John the Baptist, the guy that stood out in the wilderness and preached about Jesus Christ coming. Okay? His voice is out there. You know he's there. You know what he's preaching. Did people pay attention to him? No. But Christ came. He baptized him. And when John the Baptist and Jesus Christ met, John the Baptist says, you should be baptized me. He says, no, you need to baptize me because it was already ordained. Now, every damn Republican that sits there and tells me that I cannot win, I've got a streak in me, and this is the thing that I've learned from day one, that you tell me I can't do something, I'm going to prove your ass wrong. All right? I rode bulls because somebody said I couldn't ride a bull. I rode the bull. Almost got killed, but that's beside the point. I carried a scar, and I carried a busted rib and lung collapsed. I broke horses when I was 16 years old because it was something to do, because somebody said you can't do that. My grandfather had a sign in his office because he was a surgeon up in the Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota. And I never understood that sign until I sat down and talked to him one day. He says, Bob, politicians are just like jackasses. They think...
You're a politician now, so...
I may be a jackass, but here's the thing. I'm going to tell you this. When I broke horses, I had a horse that could not go in the trailer and be towed to the racetrack. So we got a mule and put him in there. And this jackass stood there at the racetrack and you looked at him. And my grandfather told me this. He says, Bob, remember when you broke horses? And I said, yeah, Grandpa, I remember that. He says, what? You had a jackass around thoroughbreds. Pure racehorses. He's not a racehorse. And no matter how hard you try, you cannot make that jackass into a thoroughbred. Same thing he thinks about surgeons. You get a jackass surgeon, you can't make him thoroughbred. Okay? So here's the thing. For all the damn Republicans sitting out there telling me I can't win, you can't change the jackass. I can't change your opinion. I can't change your opinion that you think I'm going to lose. Would I bet you? No, I won't, because I don't believe in betting on that. I really don't.
We live in Vegas.
I don't care. How often do you go down a strip? I don't go there unless
I don't have to go down the strip. I go to Santa Fe.
I don't even, I can't tell you the last time I was in a casino. But here's the thing. If I didn't believe I was going to win that race, because here's the thing that's different.
Well, hold on. Let me stop. People come into races for different reasons. Some people come to races know that they're not going to fucking win, okay?
Okay,
They come into races because they want to have a platform, because they want their voices to be heard, or because they have a damn ego.
I don't have an ego.
Or they just want to take away votes away from a candidate because they don't like him.
All right. that may be the case you think, which you're entitled to your opinion, which I respect.
No, I was just giving an example.
No. That's your opinion. You've voiced it out there. I'm going to voice mine. Okay. The reason I got into this race because I was tired of the bullshit that's going on. Mm-hmm. We've got people we elect over and over and over again. I got a senator that sits in the state Senate that hasn't done jack shit in 12 years.
Which one is that?
Spearman. Mm-hmm. You go look at her record.
I think she's done, isn't she?
Yeah, she can't run. Mm-hmm. All right. So now I've got Claire Thomas sitting there. Mm-hmm. I've talked to Claire Thomas. First time I met her, she was talking to the Brinkleys, who I happen to be working with, because we're going to try and have a coalition and we're going to work together. We are. She says, so what do you do? My first thing to her was, I'm running for your seat. Mm-hmm. She didn't know how to take that. Mm-hmm. You might be abrasive. You are. You're a Marine. I understand that. I understand the mentality. Once a Marine, always a Marine. Mm-hmm. I worked with Marines, so it wore off on me. Mm-hmm. But here's the thing. You get somebody standing there and says, I'm running for your seat. And that's the first time you met them. What are you going to do? Then we had to sit down breakfast. And guess who was sitting at my table? She was. So now you got to make an effort to see who I am. I fenced when I was at Desert Shield, Desert Storm for recreation. We went and stole the 3x5 or the 2x4s. And we built fences strip, 21 feet long each one. And we fenced for recreation. Now, in fencing, you have an opponent sitting there in front of you. You have to make a move to see how they're going to react. Okay, you play your game. You want to bet me? No, I don't need to bet.
No, I wasn't playing.
No.
I was serious.
Yeah, and you can be serious. That's fine. But here's the thing.
I won't fight.
Yeah, he's dead serious.
Yeah, I know he is. Everybody that bets like that, it's just like walking in and saying, this horse is going to win. No. Here's the thing. You have to make a move to see the reaction. Mm-hmm. Have been in tournaments in Virginia, and I fenced against a guy that used to be one of the best in college, went to the Pan Am Games, and I fenced him, beat him 5-3. Okay. The guy got pissed because I'd only picked it up since I was in Saudi Arabia, and I came back to the States and went to the first tournament and beat him. Well, he's pissed. I didn't care. It didn't matter. I don't have an ego. I jumped out of perfectly good airplanes because it was an adventure. My boss that I ran into, I didn't like him. First time we met, told him, you medic? He goes, no. I said, get the hell out of my dropping zone. I don't need somebody standing around thumb up their ass. Well, he waited for me, and we had a conversation. I went to work for him. And I was standing on the other side of the desk. He was on the other side. Didn't salute him because he come around the desk when we got this conversation going. He said, see this colonel? I said, yeah. He's telling me what the officers want me to hear. See this Chief Master Sergeant? Yeah. He tells me what the enlisted people want. I go, why the hell do you want me? You're the only son of a bitch who's going to tell me the truth. I worked for him, respected him, and I learned from him. But you know what his first order was? Monday morning, jump school. I was in jump school Monday morning. But when you tell me I can't do something, that tells me, I'm sorry, I'm going to prove you wrong. Right. Now, everybody's told me.
I never said you can't.
No.
I said the math can't. The math doesn't add up.
I don't worry about the math because here's the thing.
But you know what? You know what? Check this out. Come November, I'm going to be looking you up. And I want to see what you tell me then.
All right. And I'll tell you the same thing I did now.
Okay.
I've run a campaign that I've not criticized, attacked my opponent. I'll treat her with respect, and I expect the same back. If we want to talk issues, we'll talk issues. Okay? Now, that's how I'm going to run my campaign. I'm not going to attack her. I'm not going to
campaign manager?
No.
You ran a campaign before?
No.
Do you know how to run campaigns?
I'm doing a damn good job at it right now.
All right.
And I'm helping somebody else run a campaign.
Okay. All right. Well, Mr. Olson, I appreciate you coming on. This has been a very, very interesting conversation, I must say. I'm going to go back and rewind the tape and watch it over and over and over again.
I'm not the normal person that you're going to run into to see.
Oh my God, I've been through so many abnormal people in the 20. Jim, how long? In the 20 plus years I've been doing this.
But here's the thing. One other thing you were asking. We've got housing, we got education, and now we need to advance our technology here in the state of Nevada. Just recently, I was at Boulder City at the Train Museum. We have a boxcar that was dedicated to bring gifts back to the United States. It's called the Marcy train. That boxcar is Nevada, so it was Carson City. The French consulate from Las Vegas, or Los Angeles, was here in Las Vegas for that event. I was there. I met him. Now, my third thing I'm going to do, we have to develop technology. We're going to have Yucca Mountain out here. All right? We're going to sit here and let those rods and everything, all that nuclear waste, going to sit there. France and Germany are the top two countries that can take these rods and revitalize them into pure energy. Well, can we do that? Here's the thing. While I was standing there talking to him, I asked him, said, how do I do that? What companies do I need to contact? He told me, he says, you send me an email, I'll give you the two companies, and we'll develop the technology here.
If you're talking about Yucca Mountain, you know the state has nothing to do with that.
I understand that.
Okay.
But if we're going to do it, we're going to develop how to bring that technology.
But you can't do that in your capacity as an assemblyman. You do know that, right?
I understand that.
It's a Congress or a Senate.
I understand that.
Okay.
And that's
then why are we talking about it?
Because this is what's going to help Nevada, okay? Not only at a state level, but get us nationally, okay? In order to do that, bring that technology here in Nevada, we're going to have two places develop and teach that. Was it going to be UNR or is it going to be UNLV? That's going to bring the technology. That's going to allow us to move forward on pure energy. The other thing we're going to face is going to be at a state level, the water issue. Now, those are the things that we have to look at in this state. Okay, how do we handle the water situation? Very easily. It was done 20 years ago. I got Barry Lindeman, that is an expert that ran the last time, polled 8,000 votes. Didn't even campaign, but's got the idea. And I've looked at his idea and I've looked at TVA. If we use that model, we take a desalination plant, we set it in California, we run the pipeline from the Sea of Cortez to the desalination part, we got rid of California. Okay? Any agreements that we made, you're going to hear John Lee talk about, well, we're banking money in Arizona. All those are out the window because the federal government has that control now. Okay?
Let me give you a piece of advice, okay? If you're running for assembly, then talk about the capacity assemblymen could do and what you could do in that capacity.
But I make it local
If you want to run for a federal government like Congress or Senate, then talk about those issues. But you should stick to what you could do.
Yes, and I'm looking at those things.
And as an assemblyman, you can't do those things you just mentioned.
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Yes, you can, and I'm going to tell you why. Because you have to introduce. It's not any longer just a national level, as you call it. We're now worried about state level because we're going to start pumping more people in here. In the next 5 years, how many people do you think are going to be in this Las Vegas Bowl? Where are you going to get the water for it?
Well, when I came here, it was 865,000 in 95. So
yeah, and we got 240.
Been here a long time, Steve.
Okay. Well, I got Alan Bigelow. I got to bring on so because he gets mad if he doesn't go on time, and
Alan,
we're ready 6 minutes
understand.
late. So, Mr. Bigelow, this is what I want you to do. Mark is going to zoom in, right? Mark, you're going to zoom in on him. He's going to zoom in on you, and then you give why people should go vote for you and your point of contact.
Okay. My name is Bob Olson. I am running for District Assembly 17. I am new. I'm a voice out there. I have solutions to the problems that are facing you every day. Here's the question I'm asking you. If you think I've got the answers, then vote for me. If not, thank you for your time.
Point of contact.
Bob Olson.
Do you have a website?
Yep. Bob Olson for Nevada.
Do you have an email?
Yeah. Bob Olson, Robert Olson 13@gmail.com.
You have a phone number?
Yep. 928-444-0427.
All right, Mr. Olson, thank you so much.
All right. Steve, appreciate it. Thank you.
Absolutely. Folks, that's Bob Olson. He's running for Nevada Assembly District number 17.
Yep.
This is Steve Satchel and Frank Friends with Veterans in Politics. Until next time.